Sports rights have become the biggest battleground in TV, and rights are being fragmented amongst a lot of players. How are you navigating this change in the market, and how are you navigating clients through this?
I think it's exciting. And we've been pretty much navigating this for a while, knowing that these rights are coming up, and NBA is just the start of what's about to happen over the next 10 years. And then if you think about it, like next 10 years, and then it just rebounds and starts again. But we're helping clients, think about the league deals that they have. We're helping them think about the ones that are up and where they're going, and really looking at it from a audience standpoint. Like, where is their audiences? Who are they trying to reach? Are they actually on the new streamer that's taking over that league or bringing some of it to that league? As well as, like, is there a new opportunity because it's exciting and because there's other things you can do outside of where it has holistically sat? So just, I think, navigating that for the clients, speaking to them constantly, giving them updates, letting them know about what's happening in sports is super important, just to kind of get that conversation. And I think most importantly is those that invest in sports, they know a lot about it, but those that have never had the pockets for it are talking about it.
You've started a new sports division. Can you talk about why now?
We've talked about it for years with past bosses of mine and current folks, and I think this was the right time. The sports division that we started isn't only focused on TV and maybe some digital. It's focused on end-to-end. It's focused on what are they searching for. It's focused on social. We're talking about the leagues. We're talking about the partners. We have to kind of have that conversation and be thinking about all media and how different age groups, how different consumers are interacting with sports, because some of them are not watching a live game anymore. They're taking snippets off of social, and then they're going on their day. But Hispanic women, what are they watching? They're watching more of like the content studio shows and really like catching up on their content and what happened in sports in that way, not watching a full soccer match. So I think we've formed that team to make sure that we're covering all of the solutions that we can have for the client and sit at the center with knowledge for them to be able to drive what they need to drive.
Amazing. Live sports is steadily moving to streaming, and that's obviously going to continue. With that comes more fragmentation in the marketplace, and the downstream impact of the fragmentation is the complexity around measurement in this environment. What are the things you're doing to help advertisers navigate these levels of complexity?
Talking to them, we're researching it, we're figuring it out, we're pushing the measurement angle. I think measurement in general is just so fragmented, and we need to come to some solves here, because it's only holding up what greatness we can actually do outside of that. If we get the measurement right, then we can actually position things right in sports or out of sports, right? So I think just helping navigate the clients in terms of, okay, if it goes to X streamer, and then it also is on X broadcaster, here's how you can balance and navigate and measure both between the two.
Recently, the WNBA signed a $2.2 billion deal for their media rights in a groundbreaking deal for their league and for women's sports. How are agencies and advertisers approaching the growth of women's sports?
We are looking at the growth of women's sports every single day. Super excited. We have a bunch of different clients doing different things, whether it's with the NCAA or whether it's with the WNBA. I think, Caitlin Clark is changing the game, as are many others. I can't wait to see what the Olympics and the WNBA do. And I think just consistently talking about that, women purchase a lot of products. They are the ones who actually make a lot of decisions, and we need to be supporting that in everything that they do. Powerful women that play sports and are also moms. They also might own like a side business, like they're doing it and they're hustling, and we need to be supporting them, and we're just talking to clients about how we can do that best.
Whether it's UFC or WWE or MLB, there are huge opportunities for advertisers to reach people via sports, locally and nationally. How are you working with the leagues directly to kind of engage?
Working with the leagues directly, I think biggest thing is to see what sort of angles and what sort of categories are up, because we represent all the different categories, and we have categories that have never or marketers who have never really kind of considered being in sports because of the price. And so I think talking to the leagues and saying we don't automatically just need that $15 million package. Like, what can we do for some of the smaller advertisers that want to reach a consumer in sports? And I think some of the leagues are definitely open to that, like not just having those high-end packages, but also having some lower-end packages that we can make an impact for some of those, smaller advertisers that just don't have the big budgets. So I think talking to the leagues about that, how can we make change? How can we make things happen in terms of measurement? And just really leaning into what their story is and what their plan is important, because we need to know that for our advertisers in the future.
Last question. You have the traditional environments with which sports is consumed on, whether that's on linear or even on streaming with the big players. But a lot of sports has kind of moved, or sports content has moved on to fast. How are you guys evaluating the fast environment for sports, and how do you guys think about it?
I think it goes back to at Dentsu, our audience data that we have, right? And for us, like, we're trying to find the consumer where they are consuming. And if that's on fast, then we support it. If it's within a big streamer or a big broadcaster or a specific league and a specific sport, we're looking at that and how it reaches the audience. And then if there's extensions of that, like, a Netflix documentary or, some of the things that like Amazon is doing with some of their sports, or again, the studio shows, I think we are just seeing where the audience is, and then we want to land our advertiser within where their audience is consuming, because that's actually going to reach them better, sell a product, make them act, make them take an action. So super important to actually just think about everything as it comes together.